What's up? What's up? What's the word, y'all? It's your girl, She's Perfection, and I'm here with my main man, Mayan. Mayan, what's good?
Hey, we good. We back up in the state right
Yes,
here.
sir.
Episode number.
It's episode number 27.
Uh-huh,
Okay,
uh-huh.
and we moving on up to the east side.
Hey, we
Okay,
ain't finna
we getting
stop.
there. Yes,
We
yes,
ain't finna
yes.
stop.
Yeah, so we're excited about today's episode. We got a lot to talk about, and we got a lot to address on this episode. But before we get into all of that, Maya, you already know the stilo. How was your week? What's been going on? You looking good? I'm loving it
Hey,
here.
hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And you looking good too. I'm feeling the
course.
brown and all of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I had a good week. I had a good week. It was normal. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna try and make it dramatic. It was normal, steady, how I like it. So I had a
Right.
good week, ready to do the podcast, ready for the episode. Everything was cool, and I hope to keep it like that. Next week. But it's been cool.
Yeah.
How your week been?
My week's been good, smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing.
Nothing to complain about. Nothing to bitch about. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had to whoop nobody. I ain't had to cuss nobody out. I ain't had to cry. I ain't had to scream, fuss, or yell. So it's been a good week. Nothing really too exciting.
Cruise control, right?
Cruise control, that's the best way.
I like that
That's the
cruise
best
control.
way for it to be. You
Yeah.
ain't really got too much going on. So I've been kind of quiet in the head this week, So.
That's a good thing.
And I've been, and like you, I've been looking forward to these Thursdays. I've been
Right.
brainstorming all week, trying to come
Right.
up with topics and, trying to give the people what they want to hear.
You did what I'm saying? And I feel like we got to talk about having some quiet time. People talk about having some downtime. It's very important because I feel like it's easy to get caught up in just being busy, but you're not really doing nothing because really what you're trying to do is escape
Yeah.
from whatever you got going on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so quiet time is good.
Actually having that time to, where it's quiet in your mind.
Right.
Where you don't got nothing to do and a list of things to take care of, no appointments, no.
Right.
You ain't even got to put no gas in your car. You could just chill. So yes. So that's good. That's good. Well, that's glad to hear, my yarn. We want to definitely go ahead and see what we got on this list today. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room, okay? It
What
is Black
is
History
that?
Month. It is Black History Month, okay?
That
And-
ain't no elephant.
it is now because we already what are we 2 weeks in? What is this? 2 weeks in the month, and we
Right.
ain't said nothing. We've been so focused on Valentine's Day, we have not said nothing about it being the beautiful, lovely Black History Month. So we're gonna celebrate that today. We got a clip, we got some videos, we got some stuff for y'all to watch.
Show enough.
We're gonna go ahead and get the clip rolling,
Let's
and
go.
then we're gonna discuss it.
Don't you ever forget that being black is an honor.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Also, rest in peace to Reverend Jesse Jackson,
R.I.P.
a legend. Okay, a part of Black American history.
Yes, ma'am.
It's Reverend Jesse Jackson, and I'm not gonna even say if you don't know who he is, because if you black, you know who Reverend Jesse
Everybody
Jackson
know who he is.
Absolutely, he's been around for a very, very long time.
He was 89, right?
Yeah. He lived a nice life. He's done a lot of great things for the community, for the people. It's sad to see him go, but I hope that it was a peaceful transition for him. And because of that, we're gonna celebrate the life of Jesse Jackson, along with it being Black History Month. And yeah. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Let's
Yeah.
dissect, Mayan. How does Black History Month make you feel?
You made me feel good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not celebrated enough. We just kind of like really tolerated, you know what I mean? And shout outs to our heroes who have transitioned, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm, Martin Luther King, and a lot of people, a lot of historians and a lot of people who made us who we are that people don't really talk about.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are not famous that people don't really talk about. So I feel like, yeah, we need, I'm big on history, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I feel like you really have to know where you're coming from for you to understand where you at. So, I got a whole lot to say about that because
Yeah.
I really do study these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do got a lot of knowledge on Black history. A lot of Black people in history who's done a ton of great things for Black history, and they don't talk about them and they don't teach us about them. So I know you know a lot of Black history people and Black American people from
Yeah.
back then that they don't teach us about.
I want to talk about one particular dude because I always try and really plug it in on every episode just to put some knowledge in there. There's this dude called Dr. Henry Clark.
Dr.
Henry Clark. He goes straight out of Alabama,
Okay.
and he's one of the pioneers of Black history. Talking about just really trying to demystify the myths from Europe. And he talks about. I remember I read this book. I think it was a speech that I might have watched back then. He said somebody asked him why is history important, and he said, he had an analogy that he said like the way you go home today is based on how you went there yesterday.
Yes.
You dig what I'm saying? Everything that is present right now is based on, how it was for you, your taste of food, everything. What worked for you yesterday, last year, is you followed through with that.
Yes.
You dig what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's the same with us knowing ourselves. There's a reason why a lot of our history has always been hidden from us.
Right.
Why we don't know too much because, if you know that we are powerful and we come from something,
Exactly.
it's really gonna make you powerful even more. So that's why there's a lot of stuff a lot of inventions, and we could go a whole month talking about
Yes, we
inventions
can.
and the things that we started, like the light bulb,
Yeah.
the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Peanut butter.
Man, peanut butter, the internet,
Uh-huh.
2G phones, and all of that. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of these inventions they'll never really tell us about them in school, because you have to understand that Black people were owned; they were property. So a lot of these
Yeah.
inventions that Black people started, farming equipment, Black people were property. So a lot of the patents went to to whoever owned these people. But a lot of this stuff that go on nowadays, Black folks started that.
Of
So I feel
course, of
like,
course.
shout outs to Black history. To me, Black history is every day. It's not a month for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I move and I talk with a different step, because I know where I'm from and I know where we from, and we good people and we're beautiful, smart people. And we own the cool out here and the intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them tell you otherwise. Don't let y'all tell y'all
Yes,
otherwise. For real.
absolutely. I appreciate Black history and being Black because of the power, like you said, we possess, our ability to forgive and love, and our spirituality to be able to accept the things that that a lot of our family and ancestors had to endure, and still can move forward with love. Just having that power, just having that closeness with God, and with the universe, and with it just our being ourselves as one in general. And most importantly, the most important thing to me about being Black is being the chosen people.
Right.
It's like nothing better than just being the chosen ones, knowing that you're chosen, and moving accordingly and living your life according to being chosen, and and being able to tap into your inner power, your inner self, and being able to serve and live out your purpose, because it's a wonderful thing, it's a beautiful thing. So once you know the power you possess, possibilities, opportunities are endless.
For sure. And I feel like if you a parent, man, you got to put your kids up on game.
Oh, yeah.
Get some books. There's a lot of information on YouTube, a lot of
sure.
documentaries. Get them watching it. You know what I'm saying? Especially young men, young women. See where we come from. Just don't get soak in all the game they be trying to put on our kids on social media and all of that. That ain't it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We come from much more than that, than all this okie doke that they be showing on the internet. But
Yep.
that's what I gotta say to that.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Black
yeah.
history is every day. Y'all.
Every day, yes.
Word.
Teach the kids about who they are, and what they came from, where they came from, what they possess, where they going, how opportunity and possibilities are endless. It's all in here, and our mind is one of the most powerful things on this God-given earth. So
That way.
y'all continue to be black.
Yep.
And beautiful.
You ain't got a song for it? You ain't got to sing a little something for that?
I ain't got a little.
You ain't got one?
I ain't got a little tune, but I'm sure something will come to me.
It's a new dawn. It's a new. Hey, I ain't gonna do it.
It's a new
I
life for me.
All right, there it is. I'm gonna drink to that. I'm gonna drink to that.
One y'all feeling bougie. He's sipping his wine today.
Hey, I gotta let the pinky out. Y'all know what time it is. For real.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into these topics. Speaking of Black history, I came across this clip and it made a lot of sense because I was debating this topic with so many people on the outside, and the question is it racist to want your bloodline and your family lineage to remain the same race? So let me play the clip for y'all.
Let's say a white person's like, I don't want to have mixed race kids. I want to have white kids.
That's racist.
Why would it be racist?
Because why don't you?
But is it
because of the color of their skin. That's the only reason you don't want that.
Would it be racist if a black person wanted to get with a black woman so that he could have black kids? Is that racist?
If you wanted to get with a black woman, no. You know,
I want my
you have a
kids to
preference.
look like me. I don't think that's racist. Do you think it's racist?
I do.
Interesting.
Okay. Happy Black History Month. Clock it. Okay. Now, my take on that
I'm gonna
is,
let you. Yeah.
unless you want to go,
No. You can go.
because I'm gonna keep it real sweet. You know, in a sense, just to make it fair, because people would say, like she said, that for a white person to want their children and grandchildren to be white, but if a black person wants their children and grandchildren to be black, it's not racist. But for a white person to want that their bloodline to be white, it is racist. And I don't think that's fair. If you put yourself in a white person's shoes, like white people all over, I'm sure they would, if they had a preference, they would prefer for their bloodline and their family heritage and their family line to be white and pure. I'm sure they would prefer it that way. However, it don't work like that. You got some people who do mixed races, and they bring in mixed kids, and their grandkids are mixed, and they still love the kids just the same. But if they had a preference, they would have preferred for the kids to be all white. I mean, I do believe that. Secondly, I've had some conversations with some people about this topic, and I had a black person say that they wouldn't want 5 or 10 years from now, 20 years or 30 years from now to be sitting at a table with all of their family, and eventually their bloodline and their race of their family is going to be kind of diminished if the people in their family continue to mate or be with white people. It would eventually, take the blackness out of the bloodline, and then they'll be sitting at a table with, a family of all white people eventually. Because if you have a child, and your child have a child by a white person, and then they child have a child by a white person, that child is going to come out mostly white, depending on how the genes mix. So I can understand why people would want that. However, let's make this personal. To me, please be clear, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I would not mind dating a white person. I would not mind having white grandchildren, mixed. Mixed. I would not mind having mixed people in my family. I already do have a bunch of mixed people in my family, mixed with Mexican and Puerto Rican and white. I have a bunch of that going on already in my family, and that's just me personally. I can see why people would want it to be like that, especially older people. Mm-hmm. But for me, that's not an issue. The family, your blood is your blood, and your blood don't have a color. And, your family, it being your lineage and your heritage and where you came from and your teachings, blood don't have a race. It's not white or black. Everybody's blood is the same color. So for me, it don't matter. It does not matter. My son is currently dating a white girl, and that's totally fine with me. That's totally fine with me. So,
right.
But I do understand why people do want their bloodline to stay, I guess, one race.
All right. Okay.
So what's your take on it, Leon? Because I got a feeling that you gonna take us deep, considering
Yeah,
it's
I'm a-
Black History Month.
Yeah, I always like to go deep. I feel like when we have these type of conversations, which is when we have, I want to call it like discourse, because racism is something that's deep than what people think. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference, and I feel like a lot of what they were talking about in the clip is really about prejudices and stuff like that. Because I think, first of all, we have to understand what racism is. Racism is something that is structural, and it's something that has to do with dominance and oppression, and it's a power dynamic. It's about control,
Yeah.
right? So first of all, what we have to get out the way is black people cannot be racist. Black people can be prejudiced.
Okay.
By that, I'm trying to say that we don't have a power behind us to control anything,
Yeah.
right?
true.
So when people say having that conversation right there, I feel like when we have conversations that are deep like that, we need to have somebody with an academic background, or somebody,
Yeah.
somebody deeper than the conversation, because that's just a social conversation. But
Right.
all them conversations that we're having, all the people in that conversation, that ain't really have nothing to do with racism, unless you go deeper to who, because at the end of the day, racism is about control, and the people with the resources. So white people, the reason why they are, racism and white supremacy is because they control the resources, so they can stop you from having a job, put you in jail, and really have consequences when it comes to your life. But when it comes to having kids and mixed kids and all, that's really more like a social thing, to where they're going to be some dilution, and it's going to have some social dynamics and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the religion of white supremacy really is about, keeping power with the limited, group of people,
Right.
For what it is. So when we go deeper into that, then I say the conversations, then they got to go deeper into what is the consequences of,
Yeah.
having, kids from mixed heritage. What
Right.
does that mean in the future? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I like to go deep when it comes to, but I don't want to bore y'all with, with that. But that's when they were talking, I'm like, what do you mean? Because racism don't even apply to what they saying. It's
Right.
really like a social
So
thing.
basically, the way she perceived it was, he don't want black kids. He don't want none of his grandkids or kids to be mixed, which technically black. And she said that that's racist, because how can you not want your? How can you not? How can you say you don't want your kids or your grandkids to be mixed?
Right. Yeah, I get what he was saying. I feel like, just as far as, if we're going to keep it as far as on a surface level, to like, do you want your kids to be mixed or not? Or is it racist? No, it's not.
Right.
It's not. You can have, if we are to keep it at that level of, it don't really matter. You can have kids with whoever you want to have kids with. You know what I'm saying? But you better realize and recognize, what happens in the future, because other groups weaponize everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So sex is weaponized, relationships are weaponized for the betterment of another group. So, we're going to keep it at that. But at a surface level, it don't really matter. Everybody can get down whoever they want to get down.
Yeah.
And historically, it's our people, like what you said, like historically, black folk, we get down, get in relationships with everybody. Other groups,
Yes,
they're not
that's
really
what I was
like
gonna
that.
say.
They tend to stick together, but we tend to be more open
Yeah,
to
we mix with
having
everybody.
relationship. Even our music, it's like certain genres of music. You can't go out to Asia and say you black and claim to be the biggest artist out there. They're not gonna have it, because they got rules and regulations. But we accept everything. That's the name of the game. But that's a whole nother topic altogether.
And another thing to what she was saying was, she think it's racist, but they never said. Did they ever say with black people, mixed with black people, can they be Mexican? Can they be Chinese? Do he really want? Is it a skin? This is how you'll know if he's coming from a racist standpoint. Can you have white kids with an Asian? Okay, so if you have a baby with an Asian? Because if you have a baby with an Asian, your child still comes out white. Or would you have or you just don't want to have a child with a black person because you don't want a brown skin or a black baby. So I think that what he was saying was it would be racist if he's just specifically like, no, I just don't want my my kids to have darker skin. Because if he go off and mess with any other race, technically, that should still be racist, right? If he's like, I don't want a mixed kid with none, like I don't want with black, with Chinese, with Spanish, I don't want it mixed at all. I just want it all pure white blood.
Hey man, that like I said, that's a deep conversation because because even when you have kids with somebody else, like when you talk about Asians, they have a drop of the black gene is dominant. Yeah,
of course.
So when people go and say black, that really covers everything.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So it's a deep subject that I really don't want to kind of like really be all casual with it. But for the sake of what they talking about, hey man, you can get down with whoever you want to get down with. If you're comfortable with that. But I always say like you have to know the consequences of what come with that too. And you have to know you can't just be out here just the same way. I always say look at the most powerful dominant groups and how they get down. You can see the dynamics, the tactics, and what they do, and then you can see the groups that are on the bottom of the totem, and you can see how they get down. Do a comparison, and it's gonna give you the game on how you're supposed to move. I'm gonna leave it there.
So my question, Manyan, is: will you have a baby with the white woman?
No. I can't. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real, and I'm not hating on nobody, but I can't.
Right. And some would say that that's racist.
That, like, again, I'm gonna go to the definition of racism. I don't own or control anything structurally, systematically. I can't stop nobody from getting a job. I can't lock nobody up. I don't even have no power. So if we're gonna go deeper into that, I can't. So if somebody call me racist, that's not. You can argue and say that's a prejudice move, but we can talk about it. But as far as racism, it don't even, because racism is systematic. Any ism, racism, sexism, anything with the ism is a power dynamic. So that it ain't even gonna go down like that. But I can't.
Is it any reason why you wouldn't have a child with the white woman?
Yeah.
What would be like the number one main reason?
The number one main reason is this. A white person, a white woman, and they are viewed differently historically. They have advantages both systematically and things that the world views them, because the world is built on a system that works to their advantage. And and everything is weaponized. We live in this world thinking that everything is honky-dory, but everything is weaponized and systematic. So when you get involved with for me personally, I'm not saying everybody, there's going to be a lot of push and pull as far as, she may have relatives down the line that don't really mess with me. That may not even really, me and her could be cool.
They don't
you know what I'm saying?
with.
But they may not agree. And now we have a son or we have a daughter that is being pulled, different ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's really how that go. And there's books about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And y'all can look about mixed heritage and the things that go down with that. So that's why I said it's a deep subject, and we can keep digging and go into it, but
it could be deep. It
could be deep. But if you want to keep it at just the casual, hey man, you can get down everybody's, and that's just my own personal opinion. You can get down with whoever you want to get down. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love me a black man, and if I have to choose, it would be a black man. But unfortunately, culturally, black men are not, are not typically family oriented or
don't say that.
Really respectful. Don't get me wrong, it's some very small few, but respectful to black women, or or have the idea of marriage, or value the marriage and the commitment. A lot of black men don't see marriage as being a valuable thing in our community. It is a lot harder to find a black man to marry you versus any other race and culture. just based off experience, dating other cultures, I've been respected overall as a whole by other race men than black men. itself.
Man,
I've been valued and appreciated more from another race than a black man.
Let me tell you something. And you don't think that's a coincidence? They has been, ever since black people came to this here land, to the new land, since we talking about black history, it has been something that was studied to make us be productive as slaves and people that were to be used. They saw that we had to be separated. Mm-hmm. So family structure for us has been something that has never been celebrated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even when you go back, even past Jim Crow, the laws that was there, and it was always an agenda to make sure that black women and black men don't get together.
Right.
So we can keep us separated. So
right.
and
that's then. That's then. At what point should a man, because a lot of women are already doing this, but at what point should a man be able to come out of that and be and try their hardest to be against what the white America, white supremacy, or what they put in our community? At what point should a man say, you know what? I want a wife and I want to take care of my family? Because if a man can see that because now in this generation, men are wanting to be better fathers to their children than their fathers were. So if a man can correct that wrong within themselves, they should be able to correct the same wrong with wanting a family and wanting a wife and having value toward women. Just how they if they want to change the dynamic of being better fathers than they father were, they should also be able to realize that they should want to be better husbands and better just better men for the woman as well.
Right. So what I'm trying to tell you is, like, it's systematic. When something is systematic, it's multifaceted. There's so many things that go into the pot. So it's just not from an intimate point of view or from a social point of view. It's from an economic point of view, social point of view, educational point of view, and everything. Not go against black women and black men being together. The job structure. A lot of, if you look into the prison complex system, a lot of dudes was locked up because after slavery, free labor still happened. It was just the dynamic of how it was shown to the masses. A lot of our dudes was like locked up. A lot of people went to war, and right now, economically, it's an agenda to where everybody is changing. Even the women, how y'all view us as men, based on the weight that's on our shoulders, that was intentionally put on us, and what was given to y'all, and feminism, which is a whole different thing that came in to give independence to women, talking about we could do our bed by ourselves and everything. It's a whole mixed pot, and it's a huge conversation.
But what I'm saying is, what does that have to do with a black man not wanting to get married? What does the systematic, what you're saying systematically, what does that have to do with the black man today not valuing marriage and not respecting black women? Okay, because let me just say this, because I know this, I see this a lot. I've seen black men show more respect to other race women than they do black women. I've seen a group of black men kick out black women or a dark-skinned black woman out of a venue, out of a place, out of a room, and chose her over chose a white woman or another race woman over a black woman. I've seen a black man put a black girl out of the front seat of his car to put an Asian girl in the front seat. Put the black woman in the back and put the Asian woman in the front. I've seen this throughout a lot of my lifetime. Okay, so you can say systematically, they did this, they did that. However, if a black man has the willpower to be a better father to his child than his father was, if they want to improve that and want to be a better father for their child, then they can also want to be a better husband than their father was, or a better husband to their wife, or even consider getting married, or even respecting black women as a whole.
Yeah, but
that's something that black men just is not a priority for them at all.
But you gotta understand. For you to you can want to be a good husband and want to be a good man, but if the woman not really down for that, and because the reason I say systematically, we don't even realize that they are per se invisible hands that are moving the chess pieces so we can go against each other. Because every time, it's like when you go online, there be a whole bunch of material and a whole bunch of content, women talking against black men talking against
Just
black
because
women.
of lack of respect that
No, it's
black
not.
women get from the black men.
It come from somewhere. So you got to understand the issue, you have to see to understand the root of it. We just didn't wake up feeling like that. And I understand where you're coming from. I understand your argument. You also, a lot of black women did not just wake up feeling greasy about black men, and we also didn't wake up. It was something that was put in the works, because originally we're not like that. You know, if you go to the 1800s, we was not moving like that. So if you do your history, like I was saying, you're going to see when the divide happened, and you're going to see laws that were put in place to systematically make us be like that.
But that's not an excuse, because as an individual black man, you can choose. If you can choose to be a better father to your child, you can choose to be a better man to your wife, or
What
you
if-
can be, and I don't care systematically nothing. 'Cause
Okay.
systematically, it teaches fathers not to be the. Wait, before you go, systematically, it teaches fathers not to be in the household with their kids, not to love their kids, and not to be a part of their kids' life. Right? Systematically, it has.
Right.
However, you have more men now who wants to be active fathers, who wants to be better fathers to their kids than their father was.
Okay, hold up.
So if they're able to correct that part, how come they're not able to correct the marriage
Okay,
and the
so
woman
hold
and
up.
respecting the woman?
All right, so we're going to skip the systematic part. Let's take it to an individual level, right? If I'm dealing with a woman who don't respect me as a man, who don't understand my position as a man, and she is damn near a dictator, and she's moving on some weird energy or whatever, and you can say that, how am I supposed to be a man? If you just tell me like, no, if you just tell a dude, these are the rules. If you don't do this, you're not going to have access to your kid, or you're not going to do this, and you're doing this. Is a man really then supposed to just move accordingly? That's not going to happen at the end. So what I'm trying to say is, from an individual level, those same dynamics apply. That's why we have so much antagonism, to where it's like, it's not a lot of that when you look at other races. So when you look at other groups of people, when you look at the Asian community, when you look at the Mexican community, to be specific, and the Asian, the Indian community, when you look at their dynamics, yes, they have divorce rates. Yes, they have misunderstandings between men and women. That's going to happen. But the rate of disrespect and the rate of fatherless kids is more ripe in our community,
Okay.
because of a reason, because it was an agenda that was put into place. When you
Okay,
look
question
back.
for you. Are you currently dating to marry? Are you dating to marry? Do you want to be, are you currently dating, going out on dates and meeting women to find a wife or to have a wife?
I'm not currently on dates, but if I'm going on a date,
Are you currently dating for marriage, to marry? Are you currently
I'm not
actively-
dating, period, right now.
Okay, so if you were, would you be currently actively dating somebody to eventually find your wife?
Of course.
And that's off the rip,
To find a partner,
to find your wife.
they gotta earn it. But yes, that's a loaded question to me. That's not a yes or no question, because I can't be going out here like I'm finding a wife. I'm finding a lifelong
Do you want
partner.
to be married?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. But I'm not going to be married to the wrong person just because I want to get married now. I got to be smart. That's how a lot of brothers get caught up in the gang, and that's why a lot of stuff happens out here. And that's why even it's that's why I say it's deeper than that, because it's not the men, it's not the women. It's just like we got to start moving differently as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a black man thing, it's not a black woman thing, it's a community thing. Black History Month, we got to start getting back to what really matters. And we could take a leaf out of these groups, how they move. Certain groups of people, you see how to move. There's a huge accountability. They move together, they marry within, and
Yeah, they
everything is kind
They're
of
taught to marry from a young age. You know, culturally they're taught to marry. That's why I said what
we
I
was
said.
taught. I'm African.
Well, you African. Black, as far as Black American.
Black Americans were taught to marry too.
No, that's not a part of our culture. That's not a part of what we do. It's something that
can't
we
say
should be
that,
doing. It's something that we should be doing, but it's not something that's common in our community.
Right now, It's not
or back
common
then,
right now.
or then, it's been or then, I can say in the 50s, 60s maybe. However, it hasn't been common in the black community for quite some time now. That's why I said what I said about being open to dating other races because culturally they're required to marriage, and typically they know what they want when it comes to finding a wife and having a wife. They're more likely to marry than a black man, and that's statistics.
Right. Or,
That
we
shows.
could.
That's why I said what I said. But
Right.
let's get into some of the comments, Mayan. It can and it can't be racist. It's all about the intentions, intense behavior of their language behind it, and overall motive with hidden agendas. Yes, two biracial people make what bloodline? Two biracial people, it is I think it's like a 50-50 chance if you do the math on that. If you have 25% of African American blood, according to the U.S. Census, you're considered black, period. Absolutely. Yes, you are. That is true. It's all about white American feeling inferior to blacks when they stress the importance of keeping their bloodline completely white. Yes, and I do know a lot of them would prefer for their bloodline to be
Shout
pure.
out to Dr. Friends Cresswell out of Chicago.
Yes.
She breaks that
Let's
down.
see. The light bulb has to click in their own lives outside of themselves wanting to follow the masses. Should be yourself and follow what God tells you versus the world. The Willie Lynch letter. Right. Okay. But you have to know the history of the race in the breakdown. Absolutely. How many of those men are on child support or denied privilege to have any custody of their child?
Yeah,
Some have arranged marriages. Yes, most of them do have arranged marriages. Those tend to be the ones that work. That's not a part of your history. The policy of relationships are too contingent on a get back instead of sincerity. I can agree with that. Let's talk about it. Who is this? What is that? Christara Owens. Yes. Let's talk about it. Give us a call, 469-796.
Shout out to the comment section, y'all.
6719. We appreciate y'all comments all the time. Okay, shout out to Black History Month once again.
We serious this week, right?
I mean,
we got deep up in this room right here, man.
We've been going for a while on that one topic, y'all. Let us know what y'all think if y'all want to call in. But Munyon gonna take us in the next topic. We got some live viewers too, so we may have some people
shout outs to y'all
in the studio chiming in on some of this stuff too. So Munyon, go ahead and take us.
What's the next? What's the next topic? I can't even see,
topic.
man. We get them comments
Is there
up in there.
anything you want to chime in on in the studio audience? Anything you want to?
We got live studio audience.
How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Man.
All right. Yo, this is Adrian.
Okay.
First of all, shout out to the free conversation that you guys are having.
Yes.
And we should afford each other that. We should be able to communicate in that manner, express our differences, which makes us us. I agree with both of you because at the end of the day, the one thing that we share in common is, again, we've been at the receiving end at everything. So it's very easy for us to look at each other as, this person is doing me wrong.
Right.
And then maybe setting I wouldn't say unnecessary, unrealistic expectations, because you have to take note of how we got there in the first place. So, shout out to my boy Munya about the systematic background and connotations behind racism. And as well, the black women has been on the receiving end of that as well, because the black man has had to be taken out the black family. And now you're feeling like you have to take care of everybody else and everything else. But how is the man now going to look after you when all the resources are taken away from him? Or, better yet, they put him away for like 25 because he was trying to feed his family. So I think it's a good idea. I think it's really good. I like this platform. Keep it going. And it's important for us to express each other the way that you guys have set the tone. To everybody who's watching, you know what? Don't be afraid to express yourself, and our differences complement each other.
Absolutely.
And we are going to be better for that. And Happy Black History Month to everybody. And shout out to my African kings as well.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, because that's where it stems from.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, we appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Shout
Happy
out. Shout
Black
outs to my
History
dude.
Month.
Hey, man. Shout outs to my dude. Hey.
Right here in the studio
And
audience.
right here in the studio audience.
We
what
are
the
working.
comment section saying?
We are
though?
working. We are working. We see everybody in the comments. We appreciate the love and the support always. Definitely, if y'all want to chime in, call us at the number on the
Cause,
screen.
and I want to say, you know, these conversations, just so I'm clear, I understand when women talk like what you're saying. I really understand it because I empathize with that because at the end of the day, it's like a lot of things happen as far as our situation in our community. And the black woman is like, I'm at the receiving end because at the end of the day, y'all want leaders and y'all supposed to have kids by us and everything is supposed to happen how it's supposed to happen. But then y'all don't have leaders. So it's only natural for you to look elsewhere like, okay,
Literally.
where, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a dig to say black women are the problem. It's just a dynamic to where they really understood because a lot of these situations were really carefully thought out. We just think it happened by chance. That if we take away this dynamic, then y'all like, okay, but what can I do? You're locked up for 20 years. I'm supposed to, by the time you come out, I'm going to be 70. I got to look for somebody else, and
left
I'm
with
looking after
nothing.
the kids.
Right. So
Right.
we don't want to be put in a position like, don't get me wrong, I feel like black women love black men. We do. It's just in our nature.
No, we love each
It's
other,
just in
for
our
real.
nature, but we are not trying to be left without nothing. You know, we're not trying to be left without trying to leave this world without properly being loved and appreciated and valued, whether if that's from a white man or any other race man. I've seen Precious, she
What, the movie?
yes, the big girl
Yeah.
who's not so attractive. She's really she's dark skinned, and she went out and interviewed and said that she had to go where she was wanted because she was not wanted in the black community amongst black men. There was no black man who would accept her stand. A black man's standard of beauty was not her. She's big, she's black, she's ugly. So she had to go where she would be valued, and she now is married with a white man who loves her. And everybody understood that because in the black community, even in the African community,
Of course.
Somebody like Precious is not the standard of beauty,
So
and she would not be accepted as attractive or desirable
And you were
in
right.
the black community. So she had to go where she was going to be accepted
And you were right.
and loved. And I feel her.
Okay, so I understand that.
I feel her.
But this is, I will circle back to the same. Where you think us as African people, where do you think we learned how to liken beauty to European features? Where do you think we get how to liken beauty to somebody who light skinned? Where do you think we get that from? We wasn't
And
born
that's
like
in
that.
Africa?
Huh?
And that's in Africa?
Where do Africa get it from?
America. I would assume.
No,
shit,
this
'cause
is-
in
they get-
Africa, I would
so-
think the Africans like the African women.
So let me tell you something. This is why I say.
But they
why-
don't. They like the American women.
So this is what I'm telling you, right? Even in Africa, not even in Africa, not in Africa alone. In Asia, dark-skinned women, dark-skinned caste groups are on the lower part of the totem than lighter skin in Asia and all other places. This is because the dynamic of beauty is dictated by white people. They're the ones with the magazines. They're the ones that control the media, that control the narrative, that if you were this, the brown bag test that they had out here.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it come from somewhere. So when I say systematic, it's like right now, my judgments and everything right now, I could talk about it from a surface level, but it come from somewhere. So I'm always saying we have to understand, and I'm not trying to blame black women. I'm not trying to blame black men.
And I hope you're not trying to blame the system. Because you keep saying systematic. At some point, it's time to break that systematic shit. You know, this shit's been going on for 100 years. That shit's happened a long time ago. You should not still be systematically programmed as a grown-ass 50-year-old man.
So this-
you should be able to say, hey, this is what the system done, but you know what? We're gonna go. I ain't trying to say start no movement, but I'm as an individual, I'm gonna go against what the system has set up to fail us as a black family, because I'm aware that the system has set it up for me to fail as a black man and as a black husband and as a black father. I'm going to go against that, and I'm going to be better than what the system has set for me. I'm going to go against that. So this ain't got shit to do with the system and everything to do with me. I'm going to be a damn good husband. I'm going to be a good father, and I'm going to be a good black man, and I'm going to respect black women. It ain't got nothing to do with what the system taught you how to do.
So let me tell you why it got everything to do with the system. This has been going on for hundreds of years.
So at what point will you break it? At what point will you as an individual be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to follow what the system gave me?
This is exactly what I'm going to do. Me and you are married, and I'm not following the system, and I tell you, hey, look, this is how it's going to go down, and you say that's not how it's going to go down. You call the police, I ain't did nothing. They see me, big black man, and they're going to throw my ass in the prison, and I'm facing the system. That's really what it is. A black man cannot really, you can't really make things go down how they want to go, because these are things that have been, a lot of behavior that is in our community come from the feminist movement. A lot of subjugation that went on. So we are a product of so many generations. I'm African, but I speak a lot of English from when I was born, because being African don't really matter. We are controlled over there because I have to have a European education. You know what I'm saying? So that don't really matter, because what really matter is what the system say. That's why they say white supremacy is like a religion, because it don't matter where you come from, but you want to come over here, you want to be competitive on the stock market, in relationships, in jobs. You have to play this game. You have to be qualified. You have to have this. That's why we always circle back to the system, because it's not down to an individual. Because if you want to get married, you're going to have to go get a license. You're going to have to go do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying?
And the system is designed for the black man to fail. I get that. But at what point as a black man do you overcome that? At what point as a black man do you say, I'm going to defeat this shit? I'm going to make more money. I am going to get married. I'm going to be there for my kids. I'm going to take them. I'm not going to create a broken household. I'm not going to sleep with this woman, and have kids everywhere. I'm going to marry somebody. And you saying, oh, well, if she called the police and y'all get into an argument, well, what if she don't? What if she is a good woman who's there to take care of you and who's there to do what you're supposed to do? As a man, as a black man, it's still going to be systematically programmed to you to systematically go sleep around with other women, and systematically still go out and club, drink, and systematically still want to feel entitled to certain things from a woman when you not even doing your role as a man.
But how am I gonna get more money if historically the resources are
don't say that. Ain't no historically, ain't no systematically. It is black men out here who are winning.
What do you mean? We don't own nothing, Wanda. You know that?
If they don't own it, it is a plethora of black men out here who are multimillionaires. How they did it, I don't know, but they did it. They didn't let the system hold them back. They didn't let the system stop them from moving forward or becoming a husband and a damn good father. Name what? A black man. I can pull up 100 of them on the internet right now that's married to black women, who's respecting their husband. These are millionaires. These are men who has beat the system, overcame the system in every area, from being a father, from being a husband, and from being a black man, a multi-million-dollar rich black man, successful black man.
Let me tell you,
the system did not leave them.
Now, if you look deep into those relationships, the woman was prepared to do what she's supposed to do to that man, and that man made money, and he loved black women, and he got married to the right black woman, because the only person that gonna be in a relationship with a black man is a woman that want to be in a relationship with a black man.
What I'm saying is, to your point of this systematic stuff, the system ain't set up for you to win. You can't win how, and the system is working against me, and the system. There are plenty of men who are not letting that same system stop them from moving forward and getting ahead and being good husbands and being good fathers and being good black men. Point blank, period. So blaming it on the system ain't gonna get you nowhere. It's gonna keep you right where you at. Blaming it on the system ain't gonna help these black men become better fathers, better husbands, better men in general, financially, spiritually, emotionally, Blaming it on the system ain't gonna do it. We know what the system did. We know what it created. However, now is the time as black men and women to stand against the damn system and do what you need to do as an individual. Take care of yourself and your family and have better morals, a better mindset as an individual.
I got one last thing that I want to ask, and then I ain't got nothing else to say on the subject. So who fault you think it is?
Each man, it's your fault. We're gonna say it's your fault.
Black man.
Black man, it's your fault.
Okay.
It is your fault. It is your fault, especially this day and age, because there should be ways for you to always want to improve. There should be ways for you to always want to make more money. There should be ways for you to always want to be a better father, be a better husband, be a better boyfriend. There should be ways. There are ways. It's up to you to be able to figure it out. You just got to figure it out. You got to work a little harder, and that's okay. It's possible. It's doable. So it's your own fault. Systematically, yes, there are things in place to prevent you from winning. However, that don't have to be your reality. That don't have to be what it is. You don't have to just sit back and let these people sit you on your ass and make you believe that you can't get ahead and you can't do more than what you're supposed to be doing, because that's just not true. But moving forward, let us know what y'all think. Let us know what y'all think. I say fuck the system. No, be better fathers, be better husbands, man. Do the right thing. That's the problem. The black men, they don't want to do the right thing.
What
know
they
what's
saying
right.
up in the comment section? I can't see. What they saying?
It's saying, Mayan, you are on my mental wavelength tonight with the knowledge. Okay.
Appreciate you.
A
Appreciate you
lot of people can and won't say that. It's evident with incarcerating rates of black men. The NFL is a prime example of the system in America.
Yes,
Some
ma'am.
will not defeat it because they're too busy striving to fit in with it. Okay, and that's their own fault. That makes it their own fault. You are minimalizing thousands of years of trauma. What if this and what if that? There are some people that have beat the system as entertainment, because Jay-Z has an example. Jay-Z was lucky enough. Okay, but there are some people who beat the system outside of entertainment too. So do y'all research. There are plenty of successful black men out here who are living their best lives. So don't do that. But we're going to get on to the next topic. Mayan, you want to take us in the next topic? This might be good for you. You might try to get me back on this one.
So check this out, y'all. Right. Do more kids mean a woman's value is lower?
Do having more kids means it lowers the value of a woman?
Right.
Okay, I think we gotta. Cam Newton said that. Cam Newton wants to know: do the more kids a woman have, it makes her value low?
Hey, yo, Cam Newton, you got to come to the podcast.
Yeah. We're gonna play the clip. Let's play the Cam Newton clip.
This is my question. Do you feel like women's value gets lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men?
Women's value get lowered the more children that they have. And I was having this conversation, with one of the mother of my children, and she's still fine. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like I was telling her, I was like, yo, the guy that you're dating or will date, if he ain't willing to love on these 5 children that you have, that ain't the guy for you. Because when I came into your life, I was willing to accept you and whatever you had. And there's guys that's out there that's just going to say, them ain't my kids, I want you. Well, that ain't how it works. But that's not to say that she can't find nobody.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she has somebody.
Right. But do you feel like it's as the...
Exactly. So here we go. Are we on unmute? Here we go, Cam Newton in his BS once again, okay? Me personally, no, I do. Y'all already know. I'm gonna stand up for the women off the rip. You know what I'm saying? To me, it does not lower a woman's value. I've seen some of the women with the most amount of kids keep a man, okay? I've seen a woman with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids who keeps a man, okay? It keeps a man. And if one don't work, the other one gonna work, and they all be willing to accept those other kids. Not to say that, that makes it okay, because me personally, I wouldn't be, flushing dudes in and out. but I have never seen a woman with a lot of kids have an issue with getting a man. Now, will the man marry her, take her serious? I don't know. You know, I haven't seen that yet. But what I do know is I have not yet seen a woman with kids or with 5 kids or 6 kids have an issue with getting a man. And plus, men are dogs. You know, men don't care. They don't care about how many kids a woman got. They care about one thing and one thing only: is you about to let him get some and possibly make the next kid. You know what I'm saying? The men don't care. I do not think that makes the value of a woman any lower. Like I said before, there's plenty of women out here with plenty of kids that get plenty of men.
Right. Okay, here's how I feel. You know, shout outs to Cam and our whole crew. I feel like it really depends. You know what I'm saying? Like what we talking about. The value of a person is always going to be the value of a person.
Right.
I feel like how people perceive you and how people deal with you, that's what maybe they were trying to get at. You know, I'm not trying to speak for them because the dynamic, like if I'm coming into a relationship and I'm trying to deal with a young lady and she got 3 kids, 4 kids by different dudes, I'm coming into 4 different male energies that I gotta deal with. Like what he said, she fine, you fine as a woman, but if I'm trying to do something that is really productive, I gotta jump 4 hoops that I gotta be dealing with.
But what if you don't? What if you don't gotta? What if you? So what you're saying is that makes her value low because you gotta jump through 4 hoops. 4 different men.
Right.
What if you don't have to deal with the other 4 different men? What if she ain't with the other 4 different men and the other 4 different men ain't in the kids' lives at all? So you no longer have to jump through these 4 different hoops. Does that still make her value low?
I gotta say this. When you saying that, my mind is always moving like this. This is how I feel is the problem sometimes, because the woman gonna say, well, you ain't got to worry about the dudes because she going to do something to make sure that these dudes want to be in their kid's life, but to cater to the new dude just to keep her value high because she dealing with this new dude who bringing whatever she perceives as these new qualities. She going to do dirt on these 4 dudes and she going to act like they not even interested. Nah, you the one. You the one, daddy. What? So you talking about these 4 dudes? Then, hey, man, I'm going to let you talk because... my mind gonna go crazy with that.
Because what I'm trying to figure out, I'm just trying to get to the point of what you're making. You saying that what makes her value low is because you have to deal with 4 other different baby daddies. However, what if those baby daddies are no longer in the kid's life? What if they dead or in jail and they are not a part of the kid's life and you do not have to deal with the 4 other baby daddies? Is her value still low?
Yes, because let me tell you what
makes her value low.
Let me tell you what that is. When you have kids, you just don't have kids with a person. Kids come with whole families. They got aunties, they got relationships, they got friends, they got bloodlines, they got a whole line of connections that come with them. It's not just like having a pet to where you have a cat, you have a dog, you have a bird. They come with a whole different other connections to where you have to, these are social structures, right? And again, not to go deep on everything. These are social structures that come with everything. Like you saying, so you have a kid with a dude, he from a different background, and you have 4 kids, and they come from different places. It is hard, especially if you want to do it properly.
So if you found the right woman that treats you right, that respects you, that submits to you, you don't have to worry about having none of those arguments, and she's the right woman for you. She's everything you're looking for in a woman. Will you not choose her because she has 4 children?
You will choose her, and I certainly will, but it's rare and it's hard. That's just what we're saying.
Okay. Will you choose her, and will you accept her 4 kids?
Of course.
So you will choose a woman who you think value is low.
No, that's what I'm saying. It just really depends. So
said her value low. You said her value is low, but if she's the woman that's good for you, you will still choose her. So my question to you is, you are willing to choose a woman who you think has low value?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. That is not what I'm saying.
But you are willing to choose a woman with 4 kids?
Yes. So this is...
but a woman with 4 kids has low value, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's a dynamic to it. You said, when I said yes, you said, what if the woman ain't got no drama, the 4 kids. It just so happens that me personally, if I'm gonna keep it a thigh wow, I really would. If I'm gonna choose somebody with kids, daddy got to be involved. They got to be in the picture. If I really gotta know what it is. I ain't just gonna look to the side and be like, okay, that dude not there. Not, I want to know what happened because I'm responsible. I'm a leader. I'm responsible to make sure that this kid gonna be all right. So I can't just dismiss that. And sometimes that's the problem with us dudes, because you thinking now, you campaigning now, you have been elected, and now you thinking this whole program is yours. Now you thinking Now, man, you got to know what time it is, and you got to realize the dynamic of what come with it. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Okay, you got to use logic, fellas.
Let's go. Let's read some of these comments we got, Munyon. We got a comment that say he's supposed to accept the children that she has as they are packaged. They are a packaged deal.
True.
He's ignorant. Okay, all right, that's true. But why is her value tied to a man, despite the number of kids she has? Exactly. Multiple kids can lower the value of a person, not just a man or a woman. I wouldn't want to deal with someone who has multiple children that can't handle the financial, emotional, or spiritual attributes.
Right.
I agree. That goes for men and women.
Right.
Children are the product of 2 people. So even if you are the person, are compatible, you may not be compatible with the children who has their father or mother personality. Okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Children don't lower the value of a person. It's how they handle it. The 2 aren't mutually dependent. Okay.
Right.
I can see that.
Yeah, I rock with that because
I can't believe that a man would think a woman's value is low because she has children. I do think that is absolutely ignorant.
Not because she has children.
It's ignorant.
Not because she has children.
So what makes her value low? Because the question is, do more kids mean a woman's value is low? And you said yes.
Yeah, I believe that still. Because
okay, so what makes her value low? You said not because of the kids, so what makes her value low?
It's just the dynamic. The more kids you have, 1 kid, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. It's like, and I'm coming in by myself. Maybe I got 2 kids or I got 1, and I'm dealing with 7 kids. The whole dynamic, we just using logic. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. It's difficult. And a lot of these situations, we're going to try and gloss them over and try and kind of make them look like, they different and at the end of the day, one of the reasons that I believe, besides the structural stuff and everything, women and men is different. Men and women cannot do the same thing.
We get naturally. That. We get that. We ain't gonna go into all that. We get that. We see why we see how men think when it comes to women with kids. But I know plenty of men who don't care how many kids you got, baby. If you a star, you a star.
You a star. Oh, let me. But before we do something, let me ask you something. Would you care if a dude had like the more kids a dude have, does that lower the dude value?
For me, yes. For me and my pickings, yes. I do not. I would choose a man with. My preference is no kids. However, it's for me a man with 5 baby mamas, 5 kids. A man with 5 baby mamas, 5 kids. To me, I think his value is low, and and what makes his value low is the kind of person he is. How many baby mamas he got? If these are 5 different baby mamas, he's careless. That shows the signs of carelessness, recklessness. He does not value himself as a man. He does not care about where he's putting his seed. He does not care what he sticks his thing in. So that is a low vibrational, low value man.
Whoa.
That's just my personal
opinion. All right.
And
chime in.
We got somebody who want to chime in?
We got Adrian wanting to come in again.
Damn. Look at this picture.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm having a good time, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all need to show up. Y'all need to have the front row seat. So you know what? I'm enjoying the front row seat of this here.
There it is.
Productive
Speak
show,
up, sir.
we're keeping it going.
Yes, sir.
Both agree with both arguments, but my definition of value is, again, it boils down to choices, right? Mm-hmm. Like Miss Perfection was saying over here, I do with 5 baby mamas. It's a reflection of his choices, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Vice versa again, a woman with 5 baby daddies, it's a reflection of our choices. So coming into a situation with a woman with 5 baby daddies, yeah, the value is going to be low. It's in the eye of the beholder. Let me just put it that way. It's in the eye of the beholder because it can be from a man's perspective, it can be from a female's perspective, because you're the one who's making the choice to get into it with someone with 5 baby daddies, right? But yeah, the value going to be low because how much more value you're going to give me when you also have to add more value to these 5 kids?
Right.
So what more? What's left for me?
Right.
This is me looking into it, right? Like what, if I'm to get into it with someone, they have to add value to my life. So I already know that you're already putting this amount of value to your children. I hope you are. I hope you are, because if you're ignoring your children or dogging, like my boy Monya was saying, dogging the baby daddies and expecting me to take the mantle, nah, it's not going to happen.
So are you choosing a woman like that, or are you going to leave her alone?
I'm running.
You running.
Yeah, I'm running.
Okay.
I'm running.
That ain't for you.
Personally.
Right.
But again, it's in the eye of a beholder. It's just
Some
just
people
my
don't
preference.
mind. Yeah,
it's just
some
my
people don't
preference.
mind.
Yeah, but like you said, good point. It's a reflective of choices.
Right.
5 baby daddies. 5 baby mamas.
My question is, what if it's one baby daddy and 5 kids? Will you still feel the same way?
Now that's a different ball game, you see, because now that's a reflection of loyalty.
Right.
You see, stuck around, created 5 beautiful souls, innocent souls, with one person. Something went wrong, and then now we're here. I'm only having to deal with one man, right? And I'm not trying to take over his mantle. I'm only just here to add his value.
Okay.
Because maybe that woman, because already her choices, again, she stuck around, and she's shown me that she is loyal, she can hang around. And if she's adding value to my life, that in itself over there is evidence enough that, oh, okay.
But how
She
can
can hang
how
around.
can you be confident that she's going to add value to your life because she has to put her value to these 5 kids?
Right.
So just like you said with the woman with 5 different baby daddies with 5 kids,
Yeah.
how can she have anything left for you when she has to give it to those 5 kids?
Well-
how is this not the same feeling toward a woman with just one baby daddy? She still has 5 kids,
Right.
so how can she still have the capacity
Well,
or
sweetheart,
anything left for you?
You have to understand, all the energy, this is the same baby daddy with 5 kids.
Okay.
Meaning that's the same person, 5 beautiful souls created out of however long they were in, right? Because you know how long it takes to actually create or be in a relationship with someone to a point where you're like, oh, okay,
Right.
I can actually procreate with this person. Because as a man, procreation is part of my mentality when I get into it with somebody. Yeah? So it's reflective because I'm dealing with one. So the 5 children, what it's saying to me, the difference
Right.
between her and the lady with the 5 baby daddies
Right.
is this one can hang around, has hung around, has stuck it through.
Right.
You see? This one has stuck it through. But then this one jumped whenever maybe things didn't go her way or maybe things didn't go his way or whatever. 5 times.
So what it seems like to me is the fellas is not worried about how many kids she has. They're more so worried about what makes your value low is the amount of baby daddies, not the kids.
Boom.
So let's just say. So Cam Newton is wrong because what these guys here are
Nah, he
saying is
ain't.
it makes your value low to have 5 baby daddies, not 5 kids. Because a woman can have the highest value to the top with 5 kids by one man. But a woman can have her value will go all the way to the flow if she got 5 kids with 5 baby daddies.
There you go. Way low.
Hey,
Come on, come
All
on.
right. This the producer here, right?
Produce.
And I just wanna
on
say
the
one thing. Let me
line.
get
Hot
Aiden to
topic.
Help me
y'all
out because I know I ain't tripping. I feel like I'm tripping because I'm just trying to make this make sense. We an hour and some change in.
Let me tell you about value, right? First of all, what is value anyway? How do a woman even add value? Did we ever make that clear? Or what value is? Like, what do a man need from a woman? So we need to make that clear first. And secondly, a man don't care how many kids a woman have or how many baby daddies if she look good. Margie Harvey got how many kids? And Steve Harvey adopted all of them.
Yeah.
And said, come on, I'm with you. You fine. You look at Joy Chavez.
Yeah.
They got a baby by Stephon Diggs, Future, Bow Wow. That value stuff go out the window if you fine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even the girl that Cam Newton is with now, what did she say? I won't never talk to a man with multiple kids. And then Cam Newton came. He got status. He handsome. She said, who ain't going to talk to a $100 million nigga? So
Right.
all that stuff go out the window. Now,
it
if Keisha down the block got 5 kids and she broke and her body ain't the same and she not looking good, of course you can dog her. But who gonna turn down Beyonce if she got 7 kids?
She got 20 kids.
Because
Who gonna turn her down? Who gonna turn
turn
down
down
Rihanna?
Oprah?
Who
Cause
gonna
ain't
turn down
nobody.
Rihanna?
Oprah.
Cardi B got 5. She
Oprah,
had both
holla
5
at
kids
me.
And,
Yeah.
and Buddy
Oprah,
still
holla
went with
at
her, and that did not make her value less. I think that what men are saying is it makes a woman. It makes your value less if you got more than one baby.
See,
daddies.
what y'all trying to do right now? Y'all trying to mess up my game. Oprah, holla at me, baby.
What Oprah got to do with this? Okay, y'all.
I'm just
Okay,
messing
y'all.
with
Let's
y'all,
see if we
y'all.
got anything in the comments. Children don't lower the value of a person. It's how they handle it. The two are mutually dependent. Okay, a good parent is spread thin amongst her children. So it's not that her value is less, but she can't decide the emotions outside of them. Yes, I like that. I
Look.
like that. Thank you. I haven't called yet. I'm waiting on hella bomb topics. I've commented on a lot tonight. Yes. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Shout out.
Men just think with they. Hey, yes,
Hey.
they thinking about the stock value in these. Yes,
Hey, we
men,
got-
men thinking with they Peter Weeders, and we
With
gonna
the
we gonna
Peter
go into the last topic because this is gonna tell y'all how these
What,
men
what,
don't
what,
value
hold
themselves.
on. Before we
okay?
do that,
we already over time.
I
but
just want
we
to
gonna
say
get
one
this
thing.
last topic in.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
Women control sex. Men control access to relationship.
Okay. Point being, okay. So like the comment said, men just think with they and they do. 'Cause they don't care how good you look. They don't care how good you. They don't care. You can look as good as you want to look. Just like the boy got on the phone and he said that it don't matter about your value, how many kids you got, how many baby daddies you got. If you look good, the nigga
He's
is
trying to
taking
finna get it in.
The nigga is getting in where he can fit in. Okay. So let me let y'all look at this clip. Why is it so difficult for men to turn down sex? From a beautiful woman. Why is it so difficult? Play the clip.
And let me give you fellas some game today. It's power in your pipe, bro. Turn some coochie down and I guarantee your value go up. Let me cook for a second. Every woman is not meant to be cracked. Every woman is not meant to be cracked. Every woman is not worth your pipe, Brody. You gotta go ahead and have a little bit of discipline. Just because the coochie is in front of you does not mean that it's meant to be conquered, bro. If you sleep with certain women, whether you want to admit it or not, it brings your value down. And the worst thing that you can be known as a man out here in these streets, no matter how much money you got, no matter how much status you have, is an easy man. You do not want to be known as easy dick. I promise you, bro. You could think that,
Sounds
because
like we got a couple of
to
those.
knock down as many.
Can I speak on that?
Well, yeah, go
Can I
ahead,
speak
Moyo.
on that?
Keep it brief though.
I'm gonna keep it brief.
Okay.
That just speaks to that just speaks to discipline, which you really gotta have. Discipline when it comes to money, discipline regardless of what's going on, regardless of systematics, regardless of whatever. You gotta have discipline in a relationship. You gotta have discipline with food. You gotta have discipline with money. It just boils down to that. That's just what I want to say. It really don't. It's just discipline overall. That's all I gotta say about that.
Like I said, a lot of these men don't know how to control their appetite for lust. They don't know how to control it. They see what they don't realize is your value. It does make you a low value man, knowing that anybody can sleep with you or knowing that you'll be willing to sleep with anybody, fine or not.
True.
Because a lot of these men ain't turning down no beautiful cat. You turning down some beautiful cat?
I have done.
I'm talking about some beautiful cat.
Yeah, I have done.
Okay. 9 out of 10 times, men ain't turning down no beautiful cat. Okay, they gonna go chase it and do what they gotta do to get it, and they putting their seed everywhere. What they don't realize is you do not have to sleep with everybody. Everybody ain't
That's true.
coming across your path for you to sleep with them.
I
But some
agree.
men have no self-control, and they have no type of substance in their spirit to even value themselves enough. that's a low value man. That man don't value, and you can have no damn kids. Okay, if to know that you are willing to sleep around with every woman,
Everybody.
any woman, and not value yourself.
Let's make it 2026. I want you to rephrase that. Willing to sleep with everyone. Just say sleep with everybody and everything, so we can put everybody in there.
Yeah, men to sleep with everybody and everything.
Say
They
it.
will. They will. And it's disgusting. So, yeah, let's talk about how the value of a man, how men don't value themselves willing to sleep with anything that look good. We're going to stay looking good since everybody made a point that she got to look good. You know what I'm saying? She got to look good. So, let us know, y'all. Why is it so difficult for men to turn down sex?
It's just like I always talk about it on this podcast. It's just the lust is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you thinking with your small head, not your big head, it's gonna like dude said in the video, you're gonna end up in a twist because it's like you can't look bad. Beautiful women is being born every day. You can't just be chasing everything. We spoke about it on the past episode. You're going to see beautiful women everywhere. And sometimes you just got to look and admire, like you looking at a Porsche and you looking at a very beautiful car, and you're just like, okay, cool. And then just going about your business. You don't got to crack every goddamn thing. And that's how I feel like it's the number one. Me and my personal experience, I have seen it being the number one detractor from dudes getting money. You start a business, you got a beautiful lady working for you, they want to crack her. You have a beautiful customer work, you want to crack her. You got this, and it get in the way. You just have to practice self-discipline. So I on this point, I agree with you. You don't got to do that. And a lot of dudes sometimes they just be, the lust and the thirst, as they call it these days, is just so powerful than everything else. It messes everything up. Same as being an alcoholic, to where like the love for alcohol gonna just mess up your whole game. It's just the same thing. Yeah. So you're right. I agree with you.
Yeah, fellas, y'all get it together. Before we get ready and close out, I want to get deep with Munyon, and I got a question for him. He got a question for me. And we're going to keep it simple because we went over time a lot today. Yeah, we got real deep
It's
today.
Black History Month, so we had to. We had to. It's not going to be every week, but we had to today.
We kind of had to. Same thing with Valentine's Day.
We
went over. Black History Month means so much more. So my question to you, Munyon, is what advice would you give your daughter while she's dating? Like, for example, how to tell if a guy is the right one.
I would tell her, don't take everything at face value. Don't believe everything they telling you. You know what I'm saying? Don't, just because he's saying this and it looked like this. No, you got to give it time. That's what I would say. I want to keep it brief.
How would you tell, like, if I was your daughter and I wanted to know, Dad, how do I tell if this is a good guy? I'm dating somebody. How would I tell if he's a good guy?
Watch his actions. Don't listen to what he's telling you, but watch his actions. How it come to you when you have an argument. How does he treat you? How do we talk to you? How do we present himself to you? Not what he said, just what you do. Watch how he does, how he is with his peoples and everything, how he conducts himself. Just watch that. 9 times out of 10, it's hidden behind the behavior, not what he say. That's what I tell my
Watch
daughter.
his actions. Actions. Believe what is the saying? believe half of what you see. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Right. That way. That's what I'll tell you.
So okay. Well,
I got a question
like
for
that.
you.
Come on,
Right, because
I'm
trying to, because I know we running past out of time.
Yeah, we are.
What's something that you used to judge until you lived it?
Teen pregnancy. High school pregnancy. When I was in high school, I judged all the high school girls for being pregnant. I thought it was the craziest thing in the world. How these girls walking around pregnant, what did they do? I wasn't having sex. I was a virgin. And I judged a lot of teen pregnancies until I became one.
Right.
And I realized exactly how it happened. So,
Right. Okay. I like that.
That's real short and simple. I
No,
mean,
no, no.
that's just off top.
No,
I don't do
that's
much
real.
judging, or
Right.
but I know when I was young, that was one thing that stuck with me. Like, damn, I never understood like what does it mean when these girls are my age and they pregnant? Because I'm not having sex, so how are they pregnant? You know, does that make them a whore or you know? Until I became
I saw
pregnant myself.
I saw this quote on social media. It says, "Be careful what you laugh at because you could easily become what you laughed at."
Yep.
And I felt that because I've been there, done that, and all of that. So
teen pregnancy definitely have to be one of my main ones. Let's see here. We got a few more comments before we head out.
Close it down.
You have to pay attention to his actions, not his words. See how he acts at his low points. Only when. Mayan, did you steal them people? Did you steal their answers?
I don't even know what in the comment section.
That's exactly what Mayan said. You have to pay attention to his actions and not his words. See how he act at his low points, not only when he's doing good. That's exactly what Mayan said.
Can I give him another quotable?
Go ahead.
Look, you could judge a man's character or how he treats people when he's back against the wall.
Yes.
Not when everything good. When everything is good,
same thing they saying right there.
Right.
Same thing they saying in the
comments. I don't know these people.
Use your discernment and talk and take it slow.
Take it slow.
Okay. Yes, action speaks louder than words. Yes, it do, Miss Amina. Yes, y'all. So we went over today, but it was for a good cause. I love my black people, okay? It's Black History Month. Y'all get out there, celebrate.
Shout outs to the people for the support.
Shout out to everybody for the support.
Y'all
Rest in
showing
peace
out.
to Jesse Jackson. We had a good time communicating and chopping it up with y'all. Shout out to the live audience. They're here live in the flesh, watching us as we film this episode with y'all. Before we go, make sure y'all go and check out Black-owned businesses here. PerfectIonCollection.com with the all-natural organic candles. Make sure y'all continue to run up the numbers on Munyan's book, Shadow Outlines, okay? Munyan has a book available on Amazon, Shadow Outlines. Make sure y'all go and get that. Hit them up on Instagram or on YouTube in the chat. And then we have our sponsor as well. Go ahead, Munyan. Let them know about the sponsor.
Yeah, Kavanch. There you go.
That's that cologne.
That's that cologne.
Masculine.
Smell real good.
Yes.
Masculine. Y'all make sure
bourbon.
y'all get some of that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got some bottles. That without be smelling off, it's real good. So
yes.
Y'all
So
get
happy Black
y'all
History Month. Support small black businesses. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
I'll catch y'all on the next one. Word.